Hello, slow parenting family from across the globe. Thank you so very much for joining us on another exciting episode of our program, your program, the Slow Parenting Podcast on Nostalgia Media. My name is Richie Deus. You can see I'm smiling from cheek to cheek. I'm smiling because there's two very special reasons, two very important and special reasons I'm smiling. Don't find out, and then you would join me in this smile. It's a very special edition episode of the Slow Parenting Podcast. We did promise you last season that when we return this season that we're going to be introducing some new things that you've not experienced for a while. So today I'm being joined by two very special ladies. Okay, two very special. I'll be introducing them in just a while. But first, let's establish that, yes, this is the Slow Parenting Podcast on Nostalgia Media. It's still that time of the week, every week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and 7 p.m. West Africa time, including Nigeria. And my boss is the guys behind the scene. They have planned the coup against me. Before you could send in your comments without subscribing. Now they changed it. They say you can only uh, send in comments as subscribers. So please go and subscribe so you can send in your comments and your questions and follow the live stream. Okay, so they've turned it into a subscribe only mode. So I'm sorry, they're my bosses, so I follow their order. Okay, thank you so very much. My name is Richard Dewusi again. If I am pouting already, like I said, is because I'm excited because I have some very special mothers, parents that are joining me today and are going to be joining me. So don't worry, they're going to be joining me on the program as we go on. Today we're continuing with our podcast, our live stream on co-parenting, effective co-parenting. Today, we're going to be looking at understanding co-parenting dynamics. What's co-parenting to start with? What does it mean? And what are the issues co-parenting? So I'm not going to be the only one talking to you today, okay, like you've been accustomed to for a while. Like I said, I want to introduce from Abuja, Nigeria. Okay, I'm going to be introducing Hawa Ablahi Gambo. Thank you so much, Hawa, for joining us. Thank you for being part of this team, part of this program. You're welcome, Hawa.
Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to meet you all and an absolute honor to be on the slow parenting podcast. It's a real honor. I always say that I think parenting is the one most important skill that nobody ever tells you anything about. You learn by default. You just thrown into it like that. And I wish there is some kind of mentoring or lecturing or even training that puts you through to learning how to be a good parent. Wow. And I can't say it is too late for me. I can still be a better parent. So I'm absolutely delighted to be here.
Thank you so much, Hawa, for being here. You let the cat out of the bag. The cat has now back for a while, for long, and the cat is standing right behind me. Okay, if you look at behind me, there's a cat there. The Slow Parenting Institute is the cat out of the bag. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Howard, for joining us. Pretty soon, we're going to be acquainted with how a very special work, okay, by an aspect of co-parenting that we'll be touching on severally today and even beyond today. Okay, we'll play you a video. Let me warn you up front, it's a little longer than our normal videos here. It's about 12 minutes, but then it will do you good to, patiently watch it to the end. Okay, so after how I'm going to be introducing our panel, our friend. She's not a guest. well, you're seeing everybody here outside of myself as guests today. From today, after today, they are no longer guests on this program. I'm introducing Dr. Chikande Pokosa from Malawi, all the way from Malawi in that part of our great continent of Africa. Dr. Pokosa, Dr. Chikande, welcome to the Slow Parenting Podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is an honor and the co-parenting, and I am really pleased to be part of this podcast. Parenting. I am a mother of 4 children. They are all grown up, and I am a wife, married to a senior reverend of the Living Waters Church, and I am here to share some of the insights, but also learn from you and also walk the journey with some of you and let's see the struggles that each one of you are facing, and we'll see how we work together on there. I am speaking from Zomba, Malawi, and good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Chikande. Thank you so very much. We're delighted to have you on the program. And well, parenting, like Hawa had said, seems to be an endeavor that everybody, not most people, everybody learn to practice by default. Okay. It's more like, oh, don't worry, you will understand very soon. And we all stumble through, learning on the job. Most of us are still doing, and hopefully there are solutions. Okay. The technology had made life a bit easier, more challenging, but also easy in some parts, in some ways. So I wanted there were places or a place or some programs. Yes, this program is one of such. And beyond this program, we have gone ahead also to dream the dream of battling this the Parenting Institute. Okay. It's not an institute for you to go and get certificate or degree so that you can go and get a job. No, it's an institute for you to get experience, okay, and knowledge, information, education, and communication skills with which to do the job you've already signed up for. You signed up for a job, a parent, or you are planning to become one. You plan to, when you wear that white robe, depending on whichever attire you wear, whichever way you get your marriage ceremony conducted, after that ceremony, everybody will go to their homes, go away. You leave 2 of you. And after the 2 of you, if you come from the part of the world I come from, a little under 1 year, you will begin to receive certain visitors. Your mother-in-law, two mother-in-laws, especially the female, will ask you what's happening. Are you okay? It's not that they like you too much. They want their grandchildren. Yes, that's their visit. They want their grandchildren. And if it drags on beyond 1 year, 2 years, you begin to get some suggestions, some bits you didn't plan for, some stuff. Use this, use that. Cancels that you didn't bargain for, you begin to get, tensions, okay, setting. But luckily, if they didn't have to wait for long, what they wish for here, what? Children, a child. the appearance or the arrival of children is joyous, okay? It brings joy to families, to couples, to spouses, to families. At the same time, children come with their own challenges. But no challenge that anybody should, be afraid of, because somebody gave birth to you, right? Somebody gave birth to you. And because somebody gave birth to you, you need to also, okay, learn God has brought your way so that they too can give birth. So in the process of cohabiting together, things happen. Okay? A couple could decide for so many different reasons. That's not part of our program today anyway. So I'm just bringing you to that point where the issue of co-parenting, becomes inevitable. And where is that point? Where at the point at which the two people, the two partners, the spouses decide to go their divergent ways. But before that time, some other people have become members of the family. Those people are called children. To start with, they never really apply to come to your family. You and your husband, you and your wife, you and your partner, you and your spouse planned, sat down and said, it would be nice for us to have children. You went ahead, you had children. So they didn't beg you to come to your family. So you have a responsibility and obligation to take care of them, regardless of what you decide to do with yourselves. That is why we're here today. We're here through this remaining episode, 6-7 episodes in season 8. This is episode 2. We're going to be looking at issues in co-parenting. So today we are looking at understanding the dynamics of co-parenting. Dr. Chikonde, I come to you, at this time. A mother of 4 children, all grown up. Have you had any, I'm going to maybe be a little personal, then we'll take it from there. In the course of bringing up those children, had there been any time you felt like, look, this thing is not worth it, I want to go away? Your audio, you are muted. You are muted.
Yeah, I had muted myself, sorry. So my experience has been wonderful. These visitors that got to my home, they have been very good visitors, in the sense that my understanding with my husband has been very clear from the word go, so we understand. There hasn't been a moment where I have felt, oh, why did these people come into my life? Or I can't wait for them to leave my home, because they are wonderful children. And of course, there are situations where you would get to differ on opinions as husband and wife. You might differ. And they might be very clever. They want to come to mama and say one thing and go to dad and say another thing. And if you are not communicating very well, even though your relationship is working very well, you might still land into trouble, into challenges with parenting children. Because they will go to the parent, the children will choose a parent that they want to, almost like a corn. They will twist your arm to say, oh, I want to go, but daddy has already given me the approval to do this. When daddy has not even heard about that thing at all. So at all times, whether there is the differences, wherever there are not differences, communication between the parents is very important. And that's what has kept me pressing on, going on. Communicate between you, husband and wife, whether you are divorced or not, you have to communicate, make sure you are able to understand where the child is coming from.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chikonde. You see, you brought up a very important aspect of the co-parenting issue. Your experience is such that there's been nothing really that will make you to want to separate or divorce, your husband, annul your marriage. So, but you've also shown from your response that parenting doesn't happen only when parents are separated or divorced. Okay, so you are two. Co means two, but we're paying particular attention to situations where parents have separated or divorced. Okay, and the children are there. The points you made are still valid. In that communication is key. But now, let's look at a scenario where a separation has happened, okay? And let's even pick some from the extreme left of that separation, where both parties become very bitter about each other and all of that. You mentioned something very important too. The children are the main issue here for us. The children are the key. The children should remain the focus. You're saying communication. Now, where couples separate on very straight, atrocious or bitter terms, okay? How do you think that communication should happen?
Well, thank you very much. My life as a prophetess in my church, I've separated and separated on bitter terms. And for any reason to talk to each other, if they are talking to each other, they are shouting or they are speaking profanity on each other. That is all that they would want to do. In this instance, it is understandable. I keep saying to such couples, it is understandable. You are hurt, you are betrayed, you feel heartbroken, and all that. All those emotions are there. But then there is a time that you have to make it as a purpose. You will have to transact like a business deal. No emotions about it. It is, you have to communicate for a purpose, not that you should connect, not that you should be, and the purpose that communication would be to have the children interest dealt with. So this would be something, this communication would be a decision. It should be intentional, but we should be without emotions. It is for the best interest of the children that you are considering. So forget, throw away that this person hurt you. Throw away that this person betrayed you. Throw that one away. Because when you are communicating with this person, you are communicating with this person as a parent of the child that is also your child. So you are communicating at that level, emotions aside, you are looking at what is the best interest of this child that we raised together or that God gave us together. So the child must not be, in my country, we have a proverb that when elephants are fighting, it is the grass that suffers.
Yeah. Yes.
So it is the grass that will be suffering all the way. These elephants will not care that underneath us there is grass that we are trampling over. Now, this is the thing that we have to be very careful when the husband and the wife, the spouses are fighting. It is the grass, the children that feel trampled over. It is the children that feel depressed. It is the children that feel oppressed. It is the children that feel they hit on the ground. So how do you, because you love these children, right? Whether you are separated or not, you love these children. How do you make your loved ones feel loved in the instance that you have felt the pain? So the communication is not about what have you eaten, where are you going? No, it is about this child has this thing has to happen. Our children a child has to go to school. How do we deal with it? Who is putting the money on the table? How much are you putting the money on the table? How much is the mother or the father putting? That is final. Which school are we agreeing our child to go to? This is final. Don't use the children to punish your spouse for the wrongs.
Okay, that's beautiful. I like that. Well, I like everything actually, but then that point of don't use your children to punish any of you. Don't use your children as a weapon. I'm going to be calling in Howard at this point. Dr. Chikonde says don't use your children as pawns. We are going to play a video produced by Hawa Adlai Gambo on this particular issue. Let me warn those of you like me, because I raised my hand when I saw the video for the first time. Excuse me. We have to balance this up. No, this is not fair. This is unfair. But so I would like for you to see the unfair yourself. And Howard, don't worry, he's here. We'll balance it up. We're in this job together. We're doing it together. By the way, both of them are faculty members of the Parenting Institute. So let me just tell you that. Let me give you that secret out there, up front. Now, we're going to play Hawa Adlai Gambo's video on this whole issue of using your children to want to punish the other. Okay? There are so many angles to that video, but that should jump at you there. That is a tool, or that's an end that somebody, one of the two couples in that video, that's what came out. And that's why I'm saying we have to balance it up to show that it is not the agbalumo, the cherry fruit that they press the mouth to break. So let's play the video on Howard's video, please. Thank you. When we return, we'll take issues from the video, and then we'll take questions from the community. Okay.
He took the kids away. One of my daughters, since this incident in January 2014, I've not seen her.
I think the first time I saw the children after 2013 was 2016. That's 3 years now.
Just took the kids away. I never saw those kids till after 2 years, because he swore I was not going to see those kids until after his death. And truly, He died last year, October, when I went for condolence. That was when I saw my children for 2 years.
This is the story of a journey traveled only by women. It is the story of the pain of multiple losses suffered by Nigerian women. From completely different parts of the country, yet united by a common bond. United by the pain of being a divorcee and mother in the West African country. When I set out to do this project, I thought I would be telling my story. Little did I know that I would be telling the story of women like me. And not even my experiences prepared me for the stories of pain and trauma I heard. Hello everyone, my name is Hawa Abdullahi Gambo and this is The Silent Voices.
We get women wanting to get out of abusive marriages but lacking the capacity to seek custody of their children. As such, you find majority of them remain in the marriage just because they do not want to be separated from their children. The second category are women who have made up their minds that they will fight custody, and so they would go out of an abusive marriage, or they would even go out of a marriage that they are just not willing to continue. The third is more or less social. She sees herself in a community that people know that her husband is either irresponsible, an absentee father, or a man who really doesn't live up to his responsibilities. And she says, okay, nobody will really stigmatize me if I walk out of this marriage. The third category are women who really have no option. Their lives mean nothing to them. They have lost dignity, they have lost safety, and they need to walk away. Or they are pushed away. And when they are pushed away, it becomes more critical for them. Because on the one hand, society is blaming them for not keeping their marriage. On the second level, the husband manages to manipulate issues such that she is the one who is blamed for the breakdown of the marriage. And thirdly, she lacks wherewithal.
According to world population data, Nigeria is the 7th most populous nation in the world. It is a culturally patriarchal country where divorce is considered a taboo and unfit for public discourse. Divorced women are therefore subjected to blame and stigma, often ostracized by their own families.
Society refuses to be human or humane. They judge, they vilify, without even understanding my circumstances. Society refuses to educate men on their responsibilities. You see marriages being contracted and only the women are being told, obey your husband, your salvation is at the bottom of the foot of your husband. Nobody tells the man, this is your responsibility. So
the women are, however, not the only victims. The children are also affected. And at such times, especially, the needs of the children are greatly overlooked, with the man taking ownership of them and putting in a wedge between them and their mothers. Ifoma Okoli is a child psychologist specializing in the care and counseling of autistic children in Abuja, Nigeria.
I went out in pursuit of this 2014, so pretty much 5 years. Sometimes I go to court and I just feel that the men are just playing about this. Everybody is laughing, my lawyer is laughing, his lawyer is laughing, the judge is laughing. Oh yes, and then he would tell me that even if this case is going to last 20 years in court, that he's ready. And that if I win in the High Court, he will appeal. And that I should be mindful that the High Court can take us 10 years. The appellate court can take us another 10 years. And that if I win in the appellate court, he's going to the Supreme Court. See, there is this confidence in a judiciary system that is not working. Court, I filed a suit in 2014, and the first time I got in the witness box was November 2018. Justice delayed is justice denied.
Halima Umar is a caterer and confectioner.
It was a case of domestic violence, so I sought for divorce. It wasn't easy because he refused granting me until, push. Finally he did. So he just took the kids away. I guess he did that to get at me. Maybe I'll come back or he just did that, I'm sure, just to get at me. But I stood my ground that I wasn't going back to the marriage again. He said he wants reconciliation, and I was like, no, the marriage is over. Let's just talk about the kids' custody. So he was like, okay, the children have not been into their hometown for a long time, so he took them there just for holidays. That after holidays, he's going to bring them back. So after holidays, he never brought them back, and I never saw those kids till after 2 years.
Joy Edwards in faraway northeastern Nigeria is a civil servant.
In Nigeria, most especially in this part of the country, litigation is not free. I know, being that the law is the help of the helpless, I had to sue him to court, but honestly, nothing cogent nor tangible has been achieved through that.
Abigail Okosun, a Lagos State civil servant, has a similar but slightly different story.
I had a man that is lazy. After marriage, because of our religious belief, our custom, have to stand up and see what I can do for the family, to stand up for my children. In doing all that, I still was not silent about it. I was still trying to see if I can see some mentor to talk to him that he has a responsibility as a man, and all that failed because of church system.
This is The Silent Voices. Munira Abdusalam is an Instagram influencer and Hausa YouTuber. She said it is not her parents' divorce that changed her life, but the result of it.
But my dad, I blamed him for everything. You know where I come from, the dad has all the power on the child. He is the one that has the final say. I could remember being sick and hospitalized, and my mom was in the same hospital where I was operated, and it kind of ruptured. My hand could literally go into my stomach, and I could see all my intestine and everything. But my mom was not allowed to come and see me. And she was also in the same hospital with me, and she was on her deathbed.
What does the law say?
Section 1 of the Child Rights Act makes it clear that the interest and welfare of the child is paramount. For children who are in their formative years, the law gives priority of custody to the mother.
Common law looks at the best interest of the child, regardless of the father or the mother. It just looks at the best interest of the child. Islam gives the child to the mother, and the obvious is that the mother has the best interest of the child. Nobody can love a child more than the child's mother. The father should provide for the child's needs while the child is in the mother's custody.
Some men apply for custody to suffer the woman. They not necessarily have any interest or any wherewithal in terms of, okay, so I know that I may be remarried, and the mother who I marry or the woman who I marry may not necessarily be able to, or it's not her monkey anyway, by the way, to look after another woman's children.
As more and more women are taking control of their lives and relationships, divorce rates continue to soar, with a recorded 14% increase in 2018. And therefore, more and more children are being forcibly separated from their mothers. Just how does this affect them? We met with a consultant psychiatrist who provided us with an informed medical perspective.
Because there are short-term effects and long-term effects, and it depends on several factors. Of course, separation from one parent is a major trauma to the child, especially young children, especially in the age from 0 to 5. And the short-term effects, if you like, they can be emotional problems, behavioral problems, and academic problems. It ranges from emotional upset and emotional dysregulation to actual clinical depression.
In Nigeria, the Women Rights Advancement Program known as RAPA is at the forefront of advocating against this.
The Islamic Family Law Project, which is supported by the MacArthur Foundation, has been going on for 13 years now. It's in the theme consensus tools and strategies, improving access and protection in Islamic family law. The previous phases, which were the phase 1, documentation and intervention strategies, was carried out over a period of 3 years, from 2006 to 2009. During that period, there were researches carried out and consultations and dialogue with community leaders and leaders of faith.
How and why these practices prevail regardless of the laws that exist is a serious problem that the Nigerian society must work towards solving.
So there's a lot that needs to happen. It's a human institution, it's an intricate thing. We're talking family, we're not talking friends. We're talking family life, we're talking human life. Long-term issues that need resolution with a lot of empathy, with a lot of commitment. And the most important thing is that it's traumatic. Divorce in itself is trauma, and then you add deprivation of children. It knows no bound.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, technical people. We're back here. Dr. Chikondi, I will come to you, but let me go to Hawa first. Hawa, what was the offense of the men while you were trying to produce the video? What offense did we commit, the men?
The men did not commit any offense, Dr. Richie. As you can see, that documentary was filmed in Nigeria. So when I came to Nigeria to film that documentary, I couldn't find any man who was willing to share their story. And that is one of the things I continue to speak about whenever we are having such conversations and advocacies concerning these issues, that the men need to begin to come up to share their stories. Yes, we know such things happen, but then where are the stories? So I couldn't find any man to share their story when I came to Nigeria to film that documentary in 2019. At the end of the day, I had to film British men. It was in the UK that I got men who alienated fathers. I got some alienated fathers who shared their stories. But I couldn't get any Nigerian man or even a black man in the UK to share their story. So that's the only reason why there are no men. And as I mentioned to you yesterday, the other part of the story, that's the men, the balancing. I was going to look for the link to that one to share to you, and then it completely skipped my mind. But at the end of this program, I am going to look for that link and share with you.
Okay.
Because balancing is not in the...
No, go ahead.
It is in a... Yes, so the men's side of the story is in an interactive documentary format, which is still on my university's website, and I will share the link after this program.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Apart from sharing the link after the program, thank God you are in Nigeria now. Okay. There's a need to do part 2 of this video, talking Nigerian men. Yes, maybe when you did that, you had time limitations and all of that. So, okay. So right now, yeah, that would be it's not a case of a gender war, no, but it's to show that people are hurt. It show what people do to themselves, especially the harm people do to their children, especially the harm people do to their children, all in the name of, I want to show you that I'm hurting. Okay, because you are hurting, you now create other hurting human beings who live with those hurts, who move into, relationships with those hurts. Then you end up creating what we call mother and father.
Mother wound or father wound. Yes, mother wound or father wound, depending on who the aggressor is.
Yes, you now end up creating those kinds of human beings, and then those people now move into relationship without even knowing they are having such wounds. And then such scenarios keep multiplying. That's why we are talking about such on this program. Dr. Chikondi, now you are the one who lit that flint by saying the children should not be used as weapon. Then you triggered me to play Hawa's video. Okay, and we played Hawa's video. And listening to all of the women, I watched that video 4 times. None of them, it wasn't about my children, it was about me. None of the women. None. Their posturing is what they were losing, not what the children were being put through. None of them. On this program, I am not ashamed of it. My interest is the children. I'm not hiding. On this program, this project, my thing is about the children. It's about tomorrow. It's about the kind of society we are creating, we are building, the kind of legacies we are leaving. We create human beings, we nurture human beings who would, some of our children are so good at masking pain. They will so mask it, but it will show up. You can't hide it forever. It will show up in the wrong place. A man who didn't do you no harm that you continue to see as your father, that maltreated you. A woman who did you no harm that you continue to see as your mother, who you feel neglected you, abandoned you. These are the reasons. These are the dynamics. These are the underlying currents about the reasons for which we are discussing the issue of co-parenting and saying you have to find reason, and that first reason is the children. You have to apply strategies. We've said that you are no longer in maybe romantic relationship, okay? Dr. Chikondi says, forget it, just focus, now is a project. You've done, the part A of the project was when you were together. You were home, everybody was there. You still have to do co-parenting even when you live together. Everybody is not always home at the same time, okay? Somebody goes to work. In certain societies, people work different shifts, okay? People go to work at different times of the day. So it's your business to have that conversation. That's part of what Dr. Chikondi said earlier. Have that conversation, have an agreement, sit and agree who is going to do what, okay? Even if you are living together, but more so when you are apart, when there's that disagreement that leads to separation or divorce. Still know that, first of all, there's no need picking quarrel about, look at how he's talking to me. That was how he or she was talking to you that led to two of you separating in the first place. So you don't suddenly begin to now feel that person would have changed overnight. No, he's still who he is. She's still who she is. Okay? But the reason you are coming together, which is why Dr. Chikombi said, focus on the children. Remove your attention from how that person behaved or how they didn't behave. Okay? But you have to have the understanding first and foremost that your children need both of you. Your children need both of you. Okay? If you have that understanding, then there should be some compromise. Okay? There should be some agreement to collaborate. At least show up for their sakes. Okay? Agree to do things together. You don't need to hug yourselves. No. Okay? At least show up in the hall, in the event. Okay? The school program, the church program, the community program, show up for their sakes. Well, pick up the phone, agree, like we always say on this program, agree on boundaries. Okay? Whether you are together or you are apart, agree on boundaries. Okay? When is it okay? When you have set those boundaries and agree, please respect the boundaries. Both of you, respect the agreements that you would have made. Okay? So, Dr. Chikonli, a couple have divorced. Okay? Thankfully, you're a pastor and you're a pastor's wife too. And you have 4 wonderful children that you know that used two of you to play poker sometimes. They wind you, they wind this one, wind that one. So you have managed to navigate that they are winding and playing you against each other. Yes, parents, children play parents against themselves. All of us did it. If you didn't do it, you missed. We did it. Yes, Dr. Chikondri said they will come to you and say, Daddy has agreed, Daddy gave us permission. It's a lie. Daddy didn't give them. But sometimes because you want peace to reign, you allow them. But you go to your husband, you know that I know you didn't tell them, but then I gave them permission because they put your name forward. What? I didn't. Well, just keep quiet, so that we don't start another war. I have already given. So you two back your wife. At a more relaxed time, bring the issue up. Come. Somebody else, one of you or some of you here are using my name fraudulently. Daddy, what do you mean? Oh, yes, somebody used my name fraudulently. Daddy, but there's no fraudster in this family. No, well, maybe somebody is auditioning to become one. I understand that somebody said, you should go and play football when you didn't. Daddy, you were sleeping that time, so I didn't want to disturb you. We know those things. Yeah, they will come up and you laugh about it. Okay? Yes, you laugh about it. It becomes worse. That issue of playing you against yourself becomes more pronounced in situations of separation and divorce. The child can say, I was in daddy's place. He was nowhere near daddy's place. He might actually be in another city. Okay? So it now becomes much more important that both of you agree on some verifiable details when they are coming to your place. Okay? This is what so let me not just occupy that whole space. Let me ask Dr. Chikonde. In the case we know that the children can play parents against themselves when it comes to obtaining permission to do things, how should parents handle such separated parents, in this case, divorced parents in this case, that live separately and they have come to an agreement that the children can visit, can spend time with? How should such parents ensure that the children don't abuse such situation?
Oh, thank you very much. I think for me, first, I will start on the point where I stopped to suggest that children should not be used as punishment for the other. The spouses first, one spouse knows that this other spouse, if I just make the children not to speak to him or her, then I am making his life really terribly difficult. So they will use that to make sure that they should say, I told you so. If we divorced, it will be too hard for you, and all this kind of stuff. I would say to such parents to say, when you agreed to separate, whether you didn't agree to separate, whether somebody just walked out of the marriage or the partnership or whatever happened, however it happened, the children are still emotional beings that are here on earth already. So we have to be matured and grow out of our heart feelings. The hurting we must grow out of it and let the best interest of the children reign. What is in the best interest of the child? Number one. Number two, when the children are playing ping pong between the parents, there is also the window that one or two, either parents, when the children come, they talk bad about the other parent. So make sure you are not talking bad about your spouse. After all, smell the coffee in the kitchen, you are no longer together. So there is no need for you to badmouth your ex-partner or ex-husband or ex-wife. There is no reason to badmouth them. And what is the worst that can happen? The worst that could happen has already happened. So make sure when you are discussing anything with your children, discuss the positives of the other parent. The children must not see the other parent as a bad person. Let's look at what the women were feeling in Hawa's video. Dr. Hawa was making it very clear. The women's voices were this kind of women are hurting because the man is not. And this I have come across so many men that are also here in Malawi that have divorced and they are aching because the children are with their ex-wives and they do not have a room, a road to say anything. The only thing that they will hear from that ex-wife, is a phone call to say, I need such amount of money. That's all. What about me, the man seeing the child? When the man is absent in the life of the child, when the woman is absent in the life of the child, the perspective of the woman, the perspective of the man is missing in that child's life. And the product that we have walking on two legs is without balance. There is no balance. And they move with this imbalance the rest of their lives. You should not be putting the children in this kind of situation where they are walking around. We are seeing them as normal people, but they are having imbalances. They are limping. They are leaning on one side, only having female perspective, only having male perspective. They need to have both male and female perspective. So allow them to have the male and female perspective from their parents, not that they should be looking for that perspective from their school or from their teacher or from somewhere. They must get it from their parents. You owe it to them. So I know I haven't answered your question, but I think this is a right trajectory to go with.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Yes. Yes. But yeah, you will still answer my question. We still come there. But then we are going to pause again now. For this, on this program, we always produce a video to, mirror what we are advocating on each episode. Okay. So we're going to play that video quickly. When we return, we're going to quickly take questions from community members. Okay. We have questions that are coming already. Okay, thank God I'm not going to be the only one answering those questions today. I have two powerful women here. In short, I'm not going to answer anyone. I'm going to learn. I'm going to listen today. Okay, yes. So let's play the video we produced on understanding co-parenting dynamics. Okay, yes, we'll return, and I use the opportunity to address my TikTok friends again. Well. No, it's not abandonment. I'm sure you could hear me. Just because I didn't face the camera this way, no. You can see me, you can hear me, okay? So thank you. Thank you for remaining. Thank you for still being there, all right? Thank you so much. We're playing another video, which is also available on YouTube
After
channel.
a divorce or separation, children can feel confused, anxious, rebellious, or caught in the middle. Changes in mood, behavior, or relationships with parents are often the first signs. It's up to you as a parent to steady the ship and keep your children comfortable. This video is designed to walk you through key ideas that would help you better understand co-parenting, its impact on children, and what to do in tricky co-parenting situations. Stick around till the end, and make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications now, so you don't miss the strategies that can truly make a difference in your family life. Co-parenting isn't easy. It's a unique relationship dynamic that requires communication, collaboration, and compromise between parents who are no longer in romantic relationships. Understanding how this dynamic works is essential for navigating separations in a way that supports children's well-being. There are also common misconceptions about co-parenting that can make things harder than they need to be. One common belief is that co-parents must be friends. In reality, continued communication is not about friendship, but purpose. As Dr. Richie Adewusi says in his book, Effective Co-Parenting: Strategies for Success, co-parents can successfully collaborate and co-parent effectively even if they are not close friends, and conflicts can be minimized with the right communication strategies and mindset shifts. This perspective sets the foundation for looking at the challenges co-parents face and the practical steps that can make co-parenting smoother for everyone involved. Here are 5 practical steps you can start using today to help strengthen your co-parenting for the benefit of your children. 1. Recognize common challenges. Co-parenting often comes with scheduling conflicts, differences in routines, and emotional tension. Acknowledge these challenges honestly and communicate them clearly with your co-parent. Work together to plan schedules, expectations, and boundaries. When challenges are addressed directly, children experience fewer disruptions and feel more secure in their daily lives. 2. Put children first in every decision. Before making decisions about school, health, or discipline, pause and consider how those choices will affect your children emotionally and practically. When parents consistently choose what benefits the children rather than acting from frustration or hurt, children feel protected and less pressured to take sides. 3. Anchor parenting in shared duties. Co-parenting works best when attention stays on responsibilities rather than personal history. Focus on agreed routines, school involvement, and emotional availability for your children. This approach reduces tension and gives children consistency, helping them trust that both parents are committed to their care. 4. Communicate clearly and respectfully. Keep conversations focused, calm, and purposeful. Share information about schedules, school matters, and health issues without blame or criticism. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings and helps children experience consistency instead of mixed messages. 5. Approach conflict with a child-focused mindset. Disagreements will happen. Approach them with patience and a willingness to find solutions that work for your children. Listening, compromising, And staying child-focused reduces conflict and models healthy problem-solving for your children. We hope you'll apply these steps in your daily co-parenting. By doing so, you can create a family environment where your children feel truly understood, genuinely safe, and deeply loved. Every choice you make and every moment of thoughtful communication shows them that even after a separation, their happiness and well-being remain your top priority. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section. Please share this video with other parents who may need it, and stay connected with the hashtag #SlowParenting podcast. Check out our in-depth live stream on this topic, available now on the hashtag #SlowParenting podcast YouTube channel. If you're committed to growing as a parent and supporting your children through this journey, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos in this series.
The video, our short video on understanding co-parenting dynamics. Okay, so we have questions from community members here. We're going to take those questions quickly as we begin to round up. The first question here says, if every conversation between co-parents turns into an argument, should communication be limited to text only? Dr. Chikonde, are you with us? Hello, Hawa. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
I'm here.
please, Hawa, this is coming to you now. Okay, Hawa. This question, this community member says, if every conversation between co-parents turns into an argument, should communication be limited to text only?
Oh, yes. You see, I have a special interest in parental alienation because I experienced it. It happened to me. So I have dealt with a lot of and read a lot of stories about alienated parents or parents who are the alienators themselves. And I have seen that it's very unlikely to have both parents fighting at the same time. It's usually one person who is always the aggressor. And from the little psychological studies I have done, I have seen that the aggressor is most likely the one who is hurting the most. And if there is no emotional intelligence, that person does not know how to manage their own emotions and their pain. Of course, they'll be boiling over and pouring that pain onto everyone else, especially the parents, the other parent, and the children. So yes, whenever a conversation escalates and that other partner is unable to control their emotions, set boundaries, limit yourself to only text messages.
Okay, thank you. Limit yourself to only.
Okay. Yeah, limit yourself to only text messages. Hopefully, as time goes on, the other partner will grow more mature and they will understand how to manage their emotions, because at the end of the day, no matter what, the children's interests have to be put at the bottom, at the top of the list.
Okay, thank you.
A time will come, no matter how much you both hurt, your pain has to go down to the bottom of the list, and the children's interest and well-being has to come first.
Thank you so much, Hawa. Thank you so much. Apply emotional intelligence. It takes two to tango, they say, Abi. It takes two to fight. So if you are not returning to fight, and just focus on the prize. The prize is attending to the children. Another community member here said, Dr. Chikonde, this is to you. When should professional help be considered for children struggling with co-parenting stress?
Any child that has undergone divorce, separation from parents, they need professional help. It doesn't matter which. but the level and the intensity differs between those that are still fighting even years after separation or divorce or those. But each one of the children that has undergone divorce, because by the time that people agree that this is not working, damage has already been done. People have said far too much, too many words that are hurting the children. Children run away and hide in their rooms crying. That affects their emotional stability. So a period of 1 month, 2 months, professional help will help them to understand what their parents are going through, and that it's not about them, it is about the parents. Because that's where the children find it so hard. They think that their parents are fighting because of them, or they have done something wrong. That's why their parents can't be together. So somebody has to talk to them, bring their emotional stability, and help them to see, to get out of the woods.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. The next question here is, he said, when is it appropriate to say this decision is mine as a co-parent?
It depends on what decision. It depends on what decision.
Well, the community member who sent this didn't qualify, so let's take.
So it depends on what decision. As a single parent, because if we're talking about co-parenting, it automatically means you're a single parent. There are some decisions that before you make it, you'll have to consider the interests of your children first. So of course you have to put yourself first, because I always tell my clients and my friends that right now I am prioritizing myself, because I understand that it is only when I am mentally healthy, stable, and emotionally well that I can be of any good to my children. So there are times you have to put yourself first, put your own interests first, but there are also times that you will have to put the interest of your children first in making decisions.
Can you give us maybe instances, because this person, the question is specific. He said, when is it appropriate? Can you just give us one instance of both sides? Sorry that I caught you.
When is it appropriate? I think the moment you come into self-realization, who are you, what your values are you happy with your life? That is when you begin to understand that your decisions are yours. Because at the end of the day, the consequences are yours to handle, to cope with. So you have to be able to understand that the consequences of your decision, regardless of who made them, is yours to handle. That's when you begin to take decisions for yourself. Self-awareness is key. Without self-awareness, without understanding who you are as a person, your values, your likes, your dislikes, and all of that, you'll not be able to make any beneficial decision or step in your life, much less about your children. So self-awareness is key. The moment you understand who you are as a person, you begin to take authority, you begin to take responsibility and accountability for your decisions. So there is no limit.
Thank you so much. The next question here said, is it okay to use children as messengers between parents when co-parents are not on speaking terms? Dr. Chikondi. I already know what you're going to say about this, but then we have to answer the person. Go ahead, please.
Yes. No, at no point should we use children as messengers. No. We have to be very clear. Children are children, and let them be children. So the message, if you need a messenger, agree with the ex-partner, ex-husband. Who do you think I should be sending messages if we cannot talk? So maybe the brother or the sister or somebody, but not the children. The children should not be made to pick sides between the father or the mother.
Yeah.
So let's not put them in a difficult situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Hawa is raising her hand. Hawa, go ahead, please.
Yes, I just wanted to add a little comment to what Dr. Chikondi just said. Not to send them on errands or send them to say anything to their father, but encourage communication between them and their father. When they want something, tell them they should not be afraid to speak to their father about it. I've been divorced 10 years and I had to learn to do that because while we were married, I was married, my children always asked me to tell their father what they wanted. And I always did that. So they continued to do that even after we got divorced. They come to me for things they want from him, even though they live with him. So I had to reel myself in to teach myself to teach them responsibility for themselves and communicating with their father. I am no longer in the picture. So maybe the person who asked that question is referring to this scenario. I don't know, and maybe not. But in any case, encouraging the children to communicate freely with each parent is very important.
Thank you.
And most of the time, communication is usually more difficult with fathers, especially in African homes, where, you know, the typical African parenting dynamics prevails. It's always the fathers that are usually more difficult to communicate with. So the children should be encouraged and taught to communicate with the fathers, not send them on errands.
Thank you so much. Don't use the children as ping pongs. Go ahead, Dr. Chikondi.
Yeah, I think the qualifying word is the messenger. Messenger is defined as a person carrying a message from somebody to somebody, and this message is not about them. So the scenario that Dr. Hawa is narrating is the communication. The children must communicate directly to their father, must communicate directly to their mother. And that is the way it's supposed to be. But if the mother has a message that they want taken to the father, now you would tell the child, you tell your father that this month the maintenance money has not come, for example. So the child must talk to the father to say the maintenance money, mommy has been asking them for the maintenance money that you are supposed to send. This month has not yet come. That is, you have sent the child on with a message to the father. Because for some reason, you are not able to send that, to take that message yourself directly to him. That this is, at this point, is when you are supposed to speak to their brother or their whosoever, not the children. The children should not be used as a messenger to carry a message concerning between you two. But if it is their need, they need their school fees or they need their new school shoes, and they should not come to you when they need these school shoes from their father. So you are right to send them and tell them, speak directly to your father about your shoes. It is not your shoes that you are asking. But when you say your house rent has expired and maybe he is the one that supports that house rent, and you send the child to say the house rent has expired, that's where I'm saying no, let's not send the children. Communication, if it is broken down between you, is either the text or use another third party that is not the child.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chikondi. That's understood. Both sides are understood. Communicate, but on both sides, communication must flow, but then communication must also be guided. Okay, must also be guided. If I understand this clearly, it's like, okay, well, he needs to go and tell your father that he's supposed to have, go and visit Uncle XYZ that is in hospital. Go and tell him that he has not done so. That's the messenger. But then, Daddy, my school shoe, my feet had overgrown I need new school shoes. You can talk to your father, your mother, whichever one, whoever, you can talk to them. I understand that. Thank you so much, both of you, for making those clarifications. The next question here says, when one parent has grown emotionally since the separation, when one parent has grown emotionally since the separation and the other has not, how does that imbalance affect co-parenting? That question to me is not very clear. Okay, grown emotionally or outgrown or overcome the pain or what? What do you make of that question, please? How can you? Okay, Dr. Chikon, this looks like.
I'm not sure I understand that question as well. When one parent has grown emotionally in what? I think the person who asked that question.
The question is not clear. I want to understand it that maybe when somebody has moved on emotionally, it's no longer emotionally attached. But you are separated. Once you are separated, it doesn't matter whether you're emotionally attached or not. It doesn't make any difference anymore. Am I speaking for everybody here?
I have understood the question. The question is, when two parties are agreeing to separate, there is mutual separation, and there is also separation where one walks away while the other still wants to remain in the relationship and all that. At whatever stage of this separation people are at, another person can move on quickly, more quickly than the other.
Okay.
The other can still be reeling from the pain and the hurt, while the other one has moved on, maybe has also already found another partner and this kind of stuff. So the question is, when the other partner has grown, the other one has not, then the communication with the one who is still in the pain, it could be that that's the one that would still be feeling the pain, or whether of the betrayal, of the hurt, or whatever that pain. So that person could still be in there. But you need to communicate, and the one that has grown must understand the boundary and must not make mockery of the other that has not yet moved on. Because sometimes it's like, oh, I told you so. You knew, I told you that I could move on and all that. You see what is happening to your life. No, you need to understand the other person. We move at different paces. So the pace would not be the same with the other person's pace. The same way it is different pace falling in love, it is also different pace moving out of that love that you had already. So different paces.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chikondi. Well, let's handle something a little bit more hard now. It says, when both parents are always aggressive, who should the children look up to? Anybody? Please.
Come again with the question.
It says when both parents are always aggressive, who should the children look up to?
the children should look up to both of their parents, but the parents need help to be able to be less aggressive at each other. They need help. So they are seeking for professional help would be, I feel so bad when I just see this face of the person I called my husband for 10 or 20 years. When I just look at it, so many things just begin to happen within I just want to speak so many hurtful things again. So I need help to be able to control myself that I should not be aggressive. Similarly, the other person, the wife, the woman must also seek help. They should all seek help. But being aggressive does not mean that they do not have their parental responsibility towards the children. So the children must look up to them.
Okay.
They should still look up to them, but also understanding that our parents will be okay after some time, since they are seeking some professional help.
Okay, thank you so very much. Seek professional help. Do you wanted to add something to that? Which parent? Okay, go ahead, please.
I wanted to just say one or two things in response to that question. From my experience and in my own honest opinion, the parents are every child's role model. Children naturally look up to their parents, but to a certain level. If after a certain period of time, the parents are not living up to the expectations of those children, the children will have to look elsewhere, look up to other people outside the home. And that is one of the reasons why parents must continuously upgrade themselves, their abilities, their mental and emotional intelligence. Aggression is not a healthy habit or healthy traits, but life happens. Sometimes you don't even know when you're being aggressive. For example, there was a time in my life I didn't know that I was transferring aggression on my children until I read about it on a blog or something. Then I realized, oh, that's what I've been doing, because, I was raised with the African parenting method, spare the rod and spoil the child kind of belief. So I was beating my children for absolutely no reason. And then I will lock myself up in my room and cry. I just didn't know what was happening to me until I read that article about transfer of aggression. So life happens. You may not even know you're doing those things, but open yourself up to learning, be a better parent. Because if you don't evolve to be a better parent, your children will no longer look up to you.
Thank you so much, Howard, which still brings us back to Dr. Chikondi says both of you need help. Okay, go and look for help, professional help. So that's it. It comes out, it's okay. Look for help. You found help in a blog, you read. Thankfully, we're not profiling you, but you are doing what I do. In my books, I use my own experiences. To read any of my books, it's about my experiences with my children, my experiences with, because those are the ones I know genuinely that are real, okay? Yeah. So we have this other question here. Said, at what age should children's preferences genuinely influence co-parenting arrangement? At what age? Is there an age? Dr. Chikondi?
When we talk about parenting, when the child becomes 18 and is an adult, and until when they are in their early 30s, they are young people, but they are not what we call middle-aged, but they are young people until they are 35. Now, you cannot clearly demarcate and say that as soon as somebody has turned 18, they can now start discussing this, arranging or co-parenting. This is what. When they are adults and they are knowing that I want to spend some time with my mom, they will just say, they will just have to say, I want to go and see mom. Nobody will have to arrange for them to go and see their mom. Nobody will have to arrange for them to go and see their dad. The difficulty becomes when they are 18, 20, 25, and they are not independent financially. When they gain financial independence, the way the parenting will be, the dynamics will change, because they will not depend on either of the parents for them to make decisions, because some of the decisions are affected by, do you have you want to go and see your mom? Your mom is in Abuja and we are in Lagos. Do you have the money to go to Abuja, for example? So even though the person has the idea to go and see mom or to see dad, they will not. They don't have the resources to get there. So it depends when they have the financial independence. That also affects how then they can be making suggestions or proposals to their parents to see whether this can be, whether this can that be. I remember my dad used to tell me, oh, your mom has done this. Though I might tell her to pack up and go, I would just say, oh, Dad, you make her pack and go. I will not support you financially. I will not also support her financially. So you decide what should happen.
Because you're financially independent at that point, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So you will imagine that there are certain points where you would be influencing things because you are financial independence. So you will tell them, okay, you want to go your separate ways, no problem. I just don't come to your house. I don't go to our house. I am just staying in my house, and you will fend for yourself. The both of you have decided.
Okay,
so
thank you, Dr.
You
okay,
see that is different. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Chikondi. But in this case now, we're looking at the children, okay? Separation had obviously happened, and we're looking at younger children, for instance. Okay, at what point should their preferences become the reason for which you intentionally, okay, decide on co-parenting, decide on each person making their own contribution? We're not just talking money here. We're talking about talking, going for outing, supporting the children in a variety of ways. So at what point should I, Hawa, are you with us?
Hawa? Yes, I am.
Yes, please. Yep. So the children now, at this point, let me speak for this community member, okay? Dr. Chikondi had answered when the children have become financially independent. I mean, independent. They no longer need you to pay their transport fares from here to Toronto. Okay, they can go on their own. They'll just say, Dad, I'm going to Toronto in the morning. Oh, who are you going? I'm going to see mom. You can't do anything about it. Even if you say, move out of my house, well, the child will say, thank you. Good riddance, okay? That's Dr. Chikondi's position. But Hawa, this is a child who don't have Jack, okay? At what time toddlers, preteens, even teenagers, at what time should their preferences become, key to the issues of co-parenting?
Okay, if it's about visitation, I am sure between the two partners, you have an arrangement or an agreement as to when and where visitation should take place. This is something I know that is arranged in Western countries very well, with even within the court system and stuff like that. But in our country here where we are, it is a personal arrangement. You are the ones to arrange that between yourself, when visitation will take place or when and where the children will spend their vacation. But when it comes to issues about outing, as you spoke about, maybe going for a picnic or going to eat ice cream or stuff like that, it is entirely your decision because you are the one who is bankrolling the outing. The child does not have any money, and it is not going to be possible at all. I'm speaking as a parent. There is no way my child would determine my financial expenditure. If I have it, even without the child asking, every parent wants to please their child. I will make a budget and I will take them out. But if I don't have it, it doesn't matter. If the child wants it, it won't happen. There has to be boundaries even in parenting. We have to have the ability to teach our children that, especially boundaries that has to do with finances and expenditure. Simple, basic financial discipline. If you cannot afford it, you cannot afford it. If you can't afford it, do it. But let the child know, I budgeted and planned for this thing. So before we are able to have another outing, we will have to plan for it as well. But when it comes to visitation, it is between you and your former partner to determine what the visitation and spending time with the child is going to be like, not the child.
Okay.
The child only gets to decide that after they've become adults at the age of 18, as Dr. Chiko.
Okay, let me make this point here. Now, you are right to say this is how much I can afford. This is, this your preference now. I can't. Okay, you are not in the position, but that child probably knows that the other partner in another place, okay, could, okay, maybe has the means of, so what does that bring to the whole dynamics of co-parenting? This child feels that, well, you don't have it, but mom, but dad has it. That's actually where I think that this question becomes key. You can't, but the other partner, no, the child probably will feel you are punishing me because two of you are not together. Okay, Dr. Chikondi, can that be right?
Yeah, they could be right, but you also have to take into account the other parent could have for their new spouse, wife, husband with them, and they might have planned other things to do that weekend. So even though the preference would be, I would rather spend this weekend with the mommy, but the mommy has other plans with the new daddy. So what happens? Their preference will not be entertained, right? So I think minimally, you would listen to what the child prefers to do, but it is going to be circumstantial. There are all other factors to be considered. For example, if that weekend they are supposed to be spending with the mom and they want to have ice cream, which the dad can afford. So how are you going to handle that? You can't. The child will not have that ice cream where mom can't afford it, but dad can afford it. But this weekend they are supposed to be at mom's. So they will have to hold on, and we will slow them down a little bit and say, look, when you go next weekend to daddy's place, you might be asking for this ice cream. But this weekend you are with me, it is not possible for you to have the ice cream. End of story. Let's look at our pounded yam we eat and we forget about the ice cream. This is what we will eat today,
That the children, they are like that very hilarious and to that. Ultimately, like you must have seen in the video, okay, the whole thing is plan what you are going. Agree, okay? Agree. We talk often on this program about setting boundaries. Let your children understand, even as co-parents, even as separated or divorced parents, for the sake of your children, have agreements, okay? Have agreements. Have this whole issue of ice cream, and I'm laughing, it could mess up the emotions of a child for weeks, for months. That child could be in a very sorry state for those where you are going to be with dad next week, so you eat ice cream next week. That punishment, as the child will see it, it brings the child back to, first of all, let me even ask, why are two of you not together in the first place? Why did you even separate? Why did you divorce? You know, the child, that whole issue of separation now is revisited, is reopened in the child's mind. But if couples, parents, separated, divorced, make plans, agree on plans, put the children into the discussion, okay? Engage them. It's okay, this is what we're going to plan. So you know that you should not be asking things you get when you're with dad when you are here. Let's agree on that, okay? You have those agreements up front. You know, we don't have swimming pool here. Dad has swimming pool. Or you know, we don't have swimming pool here. Mom has swimming pool. So don't begin to say, oh, I feel like swimming. That wouldn't be fair on me, okay? It wouldn't be fair on yourself. So setting boundaries, agreeing on things also helps with those preferences. And besides, even when families are together, children crave for things that the families can't afford because maybe they know their friends have those things. So when you bring your children up with being content with what you have, what you can afford, what you can, you know, they know you, they know what you have, you know them, you know what they need. You have those discussions. You don't shut them down. You don't shout them down. You don't say, well, you know, this is weak. You're not going to do with that. So why are you asking me for ice cream? No, no, no. Simple. Because you've set those boundaries, we have this agreement. It's simple. Say, well, you know that this is not a fair question to ask. Okay? You know, this is not ice cream time. Yeah, you know you're here this week, and then there's no swimming pool here. You know that. So, all right. The child will not feel guilty because remember, we all agree that this whole thing is about the welfare and well-being of the children without undermining the welfare and well-being of the parents as well. Boundaries help everybody in that relationship, in such relationship, to balance up. Having agreements not set by one person, not just say this is how what's going to happen. When both of you agree, bring it, you know, well, you know that there are 4 weeks in a month. Okay? We are suggesting that you spend 2 weeks with me, you spend 2 weeks with dad. Do you agree? No, I know I like to spend more time with you here. You know, I like here. Okay, well, you go back to your partner. Look, the children still have issues with this. Can we make it like 1 week, 3 weeks? You two be magnanimous, okay? Know that it's not the mother or the father wanting to punish you with the child spending more time with them. The children have their preferences. Find ways to accommodate and also accommodate your own needs, okay? I'm very glad and excited and satisfied about what we have managed to do today on the program. I want to start by thanking first Dr. Chikonde Bokosa, our mommy, okay, our big mommy from Malawi. All right, on this program, the podcast, on this program, our engendering family bonding program for families from across the world. She's the one that's held in that program for us all the way in Malawi. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much for what you are doing for families and children. And Ablai Gambo, I'm so grateful for the time you have made out to be with us here. We thank you for that wonderful video. But I'm going to extract a promise from you before we leave here, so that it will not be only me, it will not be behind the curtain. You will make it to the world that you are going to do part 2 of that video by interviewing men, so that it can be balanced. We'll come back here and play it. And here, we're not being partial. We're not clapping for separations. We're not clapping for divorces. It's best that people stay together. But then, when it comes to the issue of your mental health and your well-being, it doesn't make sense to die in a relationship because you want to please society, because you want to, please norms. Staying together works. Work it out as much as possible. Be fair to each other. But for us on the Slow Parenting Podcast, please be fair to the children. Be fair to the children. Because these are individuals who are going to have their own relationship, their own homes, and they're also going to bring up their own children. So you've had it here, like you've had it severally on the program here, that your children want to be you first and foremost. That's the truth of the matter. They want to be you, and they are watching. The things you think, even before that you break up, they already know. They already know they are feeling it. Dr. Chikondi said the other time they will run away, go and lock themselves in their room and be crying. Very true. Very true. Very true. So don't think that whatever shenanigans are going on between the children, they know. I will end this by telling you a personal story. My son had gone off to boarding school. He was in boarding school at that time. For some personal reasons about himself, I didn't think it was safe for him to be in boarding schools early. But at the time when it became necessary for him to go to, when he had grown at least to be able to make some decisions by himself, I thought, okay, he could go to boarding school. And the driver that went to bring him back from school first brought him to my office, which is always the routine. He'll always want to stop over and see me before not going home. And as he entered my office, we greeted, we embraced. How was school, Dad? How are you doing? And by the time he was about leaving to go into the vehicle and then go home, he said, Dad, I said, yes. And when that's the way he will sound, that something big is coming up. He said, Dad, I'll say, yes, Didi, what is it? He said, are you really going to do it? I said, do what? I was completely unprepared for what I was going to hear next, because nobody was discussing any such things. It wasn't anything that was hinted by anybody, but they are saying things, and then they have discussions with their friends. They see what happens with their friends, parents, and all of that. They think and I said, did it do what? This person is graduated from the college now, from the university now. He was at 4th year at secondary school that time. He said, that are you really going to divorce? I said, where did you get that from? He said, well, the way you and mommy are doing. I'm like, where did you get that from? So they are watching. They see you. They talk with their friends. They see what has happened, maybe with their friends, schoolmates. Okay, so be kind to them. Be kind to yourselves as well. Okay, so on that note, I want to thank again Dr. Chikondi Mpokosa. Thank you so much for the insights you brought, for the perspectives you brought to the program. Hawa Ablai Gambo from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you so much for that beautiful and wonderful work on that video and your perspective and contribution on the program. And for my bosses behind the scene, thank you for making sure that we are not embarrassed here. I don't call for a video and you didn't play. Thank you so much. And viewers, family across the globe that watching us, that will watch this video at whatever other time. This is still the Slow Parenting Podcast. My name is Richie Adewusi. We come your way every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and 7 p.m. West African time, including Nigeria. But the discussion doesn't stop even when we are off the live stream, okay? You could always go to other social media handles, leave your questions, leave your comments, leave your perspective. If there are any particular issue areas you want us to look into on the Slow Parenting Podcast, please feel free to send us a mail. You go to the description, you find our contact details, email addresses, phone numbers. Yeah, you could do that. And I can assure you that you will see these beautiful faces that have, you see how they put me in the middle. It wasn't like that before. I was on one end. And so I don't know who rearranged it. Now I'm in the middle of both of them. So you can see I'm well supported and well guided. I'm in safe hands. So I thank you all very much for being part of our show today and to continue to be part of our show. We'll continue with this series on co-parenting next week. We invite you to join us and keep talking. Don't stop talking. Keep talking to yourselves, regardless of the situation. Keep talking, text, email. Technology had made it easier. Voicemail, recorded videos, so many things you can do now that the other person doesn't have a choice. At least you open it. Okay? For the sake of your children, use available technology to continue with the co-parenting. So on that note, I'm saying bye-bye. Thank you so very much. See you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Chikondi.
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, it's a pleasure. We will walk this journey together, and it has been a really, really honoring and amazing time. Thank you. And
thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.